Alright, so you have a loom and you have a long piece of yarn. You also have a paper clip that I've turned into a needle. Put one end into the paper clip and just tie it off. Just any old knot will do, just tie it off just like that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the other end of the piece of yarn or the piece of string, and you're going to put that in the hole next to this line here. And then just tie that off. So go ahead and tie it off just like that. Then you're going to start making what's called the weft. And you go down to the opposite hole there, which will be the fourth hole from the end. And then you go up through the side, the one right next to it, through the neighbor. So see how I am going up through that one. So I bring it out to the front. You want to bring it out to the front so that all of the long lines are in the front and only the short little lines in the back. So go then all the way across to the back, and then up through to the front. Pulling it all the way through, pull it nice and tight. Go across to the next hole, straight across, so you're now on the third one inside the loom area. And it's a pattern, so you do this every single time. Up from the back, across the front, up from the back, and across the front every single time. So here I've got it across the front, so now I go up from the back and across the front, and up from the back, and across from the front for the last time. So see how there's nothing back here except for these ones on the very top and bottom. And this is like a little guitar strings there, but don't strain it because it's too loose. So right now it's too loose. So what you want to do is cut off a lot of this extra here. Still give yourself lots and lots of room. Do a very loose knot so it doesn't untie on your, or so it doesn't get away from you. And then you go through and you tighten every single string. So the first knot, make sure is nice and tight. So I'm going to do a double knot for the first string. And then I give it, see how that's really, really loose? That's going to mess you up later. So what you want to do is you just want to pull it tight. So pull it nice and tight. Look at how much more yarn I've got there. So that each string is nice and tight. So there, that's much tighter. And then I can pull my last string into a nice tight knot. And I'm going to do a double knot. And that is how we make the loom. Alright, this next step is going to help you with the weaving. So what we're going to do is we're going to slip a piece of paper underneath the strings, and we're just going to mark every other string. We're going to make every other string black. So right now they're all white, and we're going to make every other one black. So that one's black, then we're going to leave one white, then just draw on top of the next one, leave one white, draw on top of the next one. So the first, third, and fifth string will be black, leaving the second, fourth, and sixth string white. This will help you later with the weaving, just so that you can easily see which is A and which is B, and which goes over and which goes under. So let's do that now. Alright, now that we have our loom, it's time for us to get our weaving part. So I've got these great boxes here that divide my yarn up, and they come out of the top of the box with a hole. And you're going to get a, pick out a string, and you're going to have a popsicle stick, and you hold just the tail end of the string and then start wrapping it around. I'm going to show you how to wrap this around, and I'm going to go ahead and put this in super duper fast forward mode. Alright, so now that I've got some yarn wrapped around my popsicle stick, and that's called my shuttle, I am going to use this ruler and show you how to weave. So I popped all the black ones up, and I pushed the ruler down to push down my yarn, and now I'm going to put all of the white ones up, and I just bring my shuttle, here I'm going to zoom in here for you so you can see even better, bring my shuttle, my popsicle stick shuttle, through the tunnel that my ruler has created, push it down with my ruler, pull it out, do the opposite with the black on top now, and now the black is making the little cave, and my shuttle goes through the cave, or through the tunnel, pop up the white, shuttle goes through the tunnel, every single time. And you'll see here that when my shuttle is on the left, the black goes up, and when it's on the right, the white goes up. So another way to see the pattern. And push it down with my ruler. Alright, now I'm going to show you how we are going to move to the next color. When you move to the next color, you just wrap your shuttle in the next color, and you just start weaving. You don't have to tie it on or anything. So you start on the same end that you left off, and because it's on the left side, all of my black strands go up, and I just leave it on, leaving a little bit of a tail there. Push it down with my ruler, and that's it. Now, I want to say at this point that when you weave, do not pull your shuttle tight. You want to leave it nice and loose on the loop. See right there? You want to leave it nice and loose so that it will stay, so the whole weaving stays in a straight line. Otherwise, it starts to bend in like an hourglass. Alright, I'm going to just continue to weave and come back in a second. Alright, so now I've woven up quite a bit, and I'm going to show you an advanced technique, and that is to use 2 different colors to make a pattern of the colors, one right after the other. So first, just weave the first color, put that off to the side, and then weave the second color right away. Then come back and weave the second color. You're going to weave the second color, so you're going to make 2 lines each time you weave so that it loops around that line. Otherwise, it will just sort of fall out. So every time you do it, you do a line going to the left and then to the right. Going to the right and then the left. So you do 2 lines for each color. So I went one way with the blue, and now I'm going to come back with the blue again, so that at this point both colors are on the same side. And then, because I just did blue, I'm going to again weave just as I normally would, my ruler, and go through 2 times. Just like that. Alright, I'm going to fast forward so you guys can see how I do this for a little bit. Alright, so as you can see, I've got lots of weaving done here. Now it's getting a little tight up here at the top. So here's what you can do. When it starts to get too much on the top, and you can't really get your ruler up, then what you can do is just squish it all down. So just squish it really, really tight. And then you can start weaving again. And then when you get about halfway up from really, really squished, then you can push it back up so it's a little bit looser, and you'll see that it will fill back in. Remember, as you weave, this is very important, make sure you leave the shuttle loose and you do not tighten the shuttle as you pull the shuttle back and forth. See, I'm leaving my shuttle nice and loose and my weaving is staying nice and straight. Alright, so this is pushed all the way down and it's super squishy and about halfway. So when it's about halfway and squished as much as it can, then what you can do is spread it out a little bit there. And so long as you can't see the weft, the black and white lines, as long as you can't see that, you're good to go. So that's fine. See, I'm just kind of spreading that out a little bit there. Great. Then we're going to trim up all of these little things here. And you just very carefully cut them off. Want to make sure you don't cut any of this. Just trim those off. Right, and now we're going to do something for the sides. All right, so once you have your weaving done, what we're going to do now is we're going to do our Adinkra printing. So I have these symbols here, and these will be at the printing table. And then I've got a bunch of stamps, and I've got 2 of each one of these. So you guys are going to have to share and just do all of your stamping at the stamping station. And if somebody has the one you want, you're going to have to share, okay? So if you want to do a pattern, you can do an AB pattern, you can do an ABC pattern, you can even do an ABCD pattern if you wanted to. And as you can see, each one of these symbols has a different meaning, okay? So the ones that I grabbed royalty and the king sees all. All right, so mine is all about being, you know, royal and kingly. So I'm going to do a pattern. Now, there's 2 ways you can do this. You can do the entire paper, especially if you have time. If you're all done today, you should do the entire paper. That way you'll have 2 works of art. Or you can simply slip it in like that. And then you just print where it shows. So, for example, I'm going to do 2 lines on this side, and I do 1, 2, 3 lines on that side. So I'm going to go through and print. And you want to make sure that it prints right next to each other. And if it falls off the page, print it off the page like that. Okay? And then you would go to your next one. Now I want to make sure that I have it in a pattern, so I would be using that stamp. And then when you slip it in, I'm only going to do this side. I'm not going to do both sides because I don't want to waste your time. Maybe when I get the video all done, I'll have both sides. And see, by just printing those two rows, it looks like it goes all the way, right? It looks like it's behind it, even though I'm fooling you. Okay? So, then, on this side, I would just print probably 3 rows. Okay? Does that make sense? For those of you that finish up weaving later. For those of you that are done weaving today, I want you to print the whole page. Because you have the time to print the whole page, and basically you're going to get 2 works of art. You're going to get the Adinkra paper and you get the Kente cloth. And we're going to display them like this. Okay? I'm going to show you some examples from the last class. Alright, so that looks really good on yellow there. Here's one that's totally done. This one is totally done too. So you can tell that, you know, when you really make sure you get a lot of ink on your stamp, it really shows up well. That one's done really well, nice pattern. This one, they did not bother staying in a grid or doing a pattern. So which one looks better here? The purple or the gray?
Purple.
Okay, there's another one.
That's a nice one.
That one's pretty good, but I think that's making sure that you stay on line is really important. Here's another one that's done.
Wow, that's good.
Okay, and this person did complete their entire page. Okay, so they have that. Let's see, this person did complete their entire page.
Why are you doing it over and over?
And this one did not. So see, even though they did not complete their entire page, it still looks good. It still looks like they completed their entire page. All right, does everybody understand?